you chat?
Always. Hello.
Hey there.
How you doing?
You know,
I don't know. That's why I asked.
I am trudging along.
Oh, that's chipper.
It was a busy, busy weekend.
You had a very busy weekend.
Mm-hmm. Had a very busy weekend. And what's tough is that when you have a really busy weekend and then it
Lingers into the day, the work day.
Yeah, because what follows weekends are Mondays usually.
It's a bad system.
Mm-hmm. And so after a busy weekend, you want
a day.
A day. You need a Sunday. But if your Sunday is also busy,
Turns into Monday.
it turns into a Monday.
Yeah. I'm of the mindset that a busy weekend sucks and a lazy weekend sucks.
Why does a lazy weekend suck?
Well, it doesn't suck, but you feel guilty. At least I feel guilty I'm wasting the weekend.
Oh, you should be doing shit.
Yeah, I feel guilty. I've wasted this time. So I either feel guilty or tired. And that's being an adult.
Totally.
I saw a funny meme that was we wanted to be adults and now look at us.
And now look at us.
And I was like, yeah, that speaks to me.
Yeah, no, it was nice though. My brother was in town. We had some familial celebrations.
Bonding. Mm-hmm.
But when family's in town from out of town, it's plan,
busy,
another
busy,
plan,
busy,
another plan.
Busy.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was thinking to myself yesterday, we were all at the pool together yesterday, as you know, because you were there.
Yes, I was.
And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to go home and do nothing. And then your parents were like, what are we going to do for dinner? And I didn't want to miss out on dinner. And I'm so glad I didn't.
I don't know why you can't say we're not going to do dinner. I'm tired. I knew you would be. And I was like, please do not feel like you have to come to dinner.
But we had so much fun at dinner.
Yes, we did. I wasn't doubting that. I was just
But I was your parents were like, what are we going to do for dinner? And I was like, dinner?
Dinner?
I was like,
I'm trying to go home and take a nap.
I'm so tired.
Why can't you? You have FOMO.
It's not FOMO because I usually have JOMO. For 90% of the world,
Joy of missing out.
Yeah, do not include me. Leave me be. But with our families, I do have FOMO. With your brother in town, I didn't want to miss any precious moments. So the fact that you guys were going to all have dinner together and we were just going to be sitting a block away, twiddling our thumbs, that wasn't going to work either.
Right.
But I was also if you guys weren't having plans, that would have been great. But if you're going to all be together.
Right. If we're not having plans, you're we're all not having plans.
Exactly.
But if we're all going to be together eating sushi,
I had to come.
you're well, we love sushi.
We love sushi.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dinner. We got in the car and Tyler was like, you're going to take a nap. I'm like, 100% I have to take a nap.
But then I said to you, I was like, if you're too tired because you've had a busy weekend, please.
I couldn't miss. And I napped and it was great. We had a great time. We had dinner and laughed and we're together for hours. But wow.
A lot of laughs. Do you think there's families that get together where they don't really laugh much?
Oh, I'm sure. They're the people who write really literal captions on Instagram. You can tell a lot about a person by how they write their captions. When people post a picture and they're like, this is my daughter Elizabeth. We are at the zoo. We came to the zoo because Elizabeth loves penguins.
Who does this?
People who don't laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Unless... No.
It's they used Google Translate.
No, literally, it's ChatGPT wrote their caption. And those people, they don't laugh.
I just feel when I think about, obviously we all look forward to being together. You and I hang out a lot. We wouldn't hang out a lot, us two, the four of us,
if we didn't
our
laugh.
families, if we weren't laughing all the time. I mean, that sounds horrible.
I mean, we would. We've gotten together for, serious occasions. We're not the
But I
clown
just mean,
college, but yeah. I know who it is. I can tell you, the really literal people. Not a funny bone in their body.
There's people who don't have a funny bone in their body, but they still know what to laugh at. But those people don't know what to laugh at, you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're what's devoid of the laugh bone.
They're devoid of laughter?
Yeah. Horrible. It's a horrible lot in life.
When I first started my first job, I don't know if you remember this, but you gave me a little box.
I did, of inspirational quotes.
You were like, I know you hate quotes, but it's a new quote every day for your first year at your new job. So like you change the card. And of course, I did put it on my desk and I forgot to change the card a lot because like,
who would remember?
So I just started sorting through the cards and finding one that I liked. And one of them said, if you find something to laugh at every day, then it's going to be okay.
Amen.
I think that's like Tom Hanks maybe said that. Don't quote me. But I've just left it on that, and that is still on my desk today. Just that one quote.
That's a lovely sentiment. I mean, yeah, we're very fortunate because we laugh a lot and we laugh at other people a lot.
On people's wedding cards that I'm writing because, you know.
You go to 200 weddings a year.
And I have to write a card. I write a little in my card. I always say, like, I wish you a lifetime of laughter.
Laughter is...
Specifically. It's just, like, not talked about enough.
I mean, we talk about it a lot.
But people don't, like, prioritize it.
Everyone was especially funny last night, though. I was thinking about that as I was drifting to sleep. It was like, laugh, joke, laugh.
Joke. Another joke.
Yeah, like we got a lot of good laughs and belly laughs. I came home and I was like, I feel like my laughter cup is filled.
I think that's also because in that specific scenario, we are all comfortable making fun of one another.
Yes, that's true.
You're not always that comfortable.
No, I don't love to be made fun of in the wrong scenario.
Yes, in the wrong scenario, you
can trigger me.
Do not make fun of me.
It's true. Yeah, I have to be comfortable enough to be made fun of.
But like everyone in like a family setting like that.
Yeah, I feel comfortable to be roasted. I'd still prefer to make fun of other people.
Of course.
But like, yeah, I do feel comfortable.
But like same number of people, different mix.
I don't like it. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
Don't make fun of me.
It's just not, it doesn't make me feel
warm
and fuzzy.
What do you think that's about?
Insecurity, probably. Not to be too vulnerable.
Okay.
No, but I mean like in a setting where I'm feeling like unsettled.
So you have to be feeling like 100%.
I have to feel like I feel the most secure, which I do obviously with our family. But like if I'm in the wrong setting, I can be triggered. Much like Dynamite.
Just call me Dynamite.
So yeah, we had a lovely weekend.
It was just jam-packed-a-roo, and the plans continue.
Yeah, you have a dinner tonight.
I have a dinner tonight. I have a dinner tomorrow night.
You invited me to that dinner?
And you said?
No. I would like to not come.
Oh, I have an icebreaker for you.
Ooh, what is it?
I heard this on a podcast, actually, that I was listening to.
That's very meta. A podcast on a podcast.
Yep. About the importance of routines and rituals. And this guy is like, I think he's a sociology professor at Harvard. I should probably know.
I thought you were going to say a sociopath.
Yeah, I'm really interested in his routines. And he was saying how he teaches a lot about like the importance of routines and rituals, and really like everything that we do as humans is like part of your routine, even if you don't realize it.
Interesting.
And he was saying how a lot of times to his freshman students, he'll say, when you wake up in the morning, if you're going to shower first thing in the morning, do you shower and then brush your teeth, or brush your teeth and then shower?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And everyone has a very clear-cut answer to this, which kind of proves the point that like we all have routines that we don't really realize.
But we just do.
And how you're not really open to changing it. And that's what makes it a routine. So what is your answer? I shower and then brush my teeth. You're the reverse. Yeah, how'd you know? Because I've stayed in 300 hotel rooms and lived with you, and I've always thought it was weird. Really? Not like weird, but I'm like, why would you do that? Yeah, that people are like very set in there, and they're like, that's weird to do it a different way. You're supposed to shower and then brush your teeth. I don't think that's true at all. It is. And like people will not even think about it. He said that like if people are like married partners, will be like, I didn't realize that you did that. And I was thinking my partner, Mike,
Yeah.
he showers and then brushes his teeth.
That's the right way to do it.
I cannot even imagine that.
That's 100%.
I don't want, there are a number of times because
that's what you do. You shower and then brush your teeth too. Yeah, we're the same.
No.
Yeah.
There are.
So 3-1, you're wrong.
Okay, well, I'd like other people to let us know once they listen to this. But like, I truly cannot even like, because I've surrounded myself with people who wake up at the ass crack of dawn.
Yeah.
I oftentimes wake up to a phone call from someone.
Because the world has been going on while you slept.
It's only 9 a.m. I don't know what kind of world has started. But anywho's, I don't even like to like answer the phone and start talking before I brush my teeth. Like, I brush my teeth before I even like pee.
That's wild.
Unless I really have to pee. Then I'll just pee and then brush my teeth right away.
I'm going to tell you something crazy. On weekends that like I don't shower until like 11, I don't brush my teeth until after I shower.
That's extremely fucked up.
So like I will have a whole morning sans brushing my teeth.
Why do you do that to yourself?
Because it doesn't even occur to me to go brush my teeth until after I showered.
But like for me, if I don't brush my teeth before showering, then when I get out of the shower, I don't feel clean. My mouth is dirty.
I don't get that. I feel totally fine.
You should try.
No, I don't want to. You should try the other way.
I know that I can't. I know how I feel.
I also like to brush my teeth right before I do my makeup. So it's like,
what does that have to do with
because I'm at the
anything?
sink, I brush my teeth and then I do my makeup.
Oh, so you wait a long time. You don't get right out of the shower and brush your teeth. You're pushing teeth brushing as far back as possible.
Yes.
Why? You hate brushing your teeth.
No, I actually love it, but I'm just like, now my teeth are ready for makeup. Because like I can't do like my lips or anything without brushing my teeth.
Exactly.
So it's the last thing I do. Then they're their cleanest. And then when I put my makeup on, it's like, okay, I am ready for the day.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I brush my teeth like ASAP after I wake up, because then if I brush my teeth, my mouth feels so clean. I get in the shower, I get out, and I'm like sparkling.
Huh. Weird.
But yeah, that was my
icebreaker.
I was thinking about it because he was saying how like people feel so strongly about it, and when he poses this question to like incoming freshmen every year at Harvard, like it's a huge sample and everyone has like a very like, I do this every morning, like I don't, it's not like it changes every day, like, well, sometimes this, sometimes that. People are like, I do this in the morning. And that kind of proves that we're all very routine based, whether you think you are or not.
I'd love a routine that involved getting up, taking a shower, brushing my teeth, and then going back to bed.
And then getting back in bed.
Yeah.
I feel like before having a baby, like on a day that I didn't really have any plans, I would get up, like put in my contacts, brush my teeth. Oh, you know what? I have to put my contacts in before I brush my teeth also. Because if any toothpaste, like when I'm brushing my teeth, if toothpaste drips from my toothbrush onto my hand and then I put my finger in my eye, it burns the shit out of my eye.
Reason 388 not to have contacts.
But I'm just saying, you wake up, you put in your contacts, brush your teeth.
What's that song? In the morning I wake up.
Before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. Do you not know the song?
I brush my teeth.
Oh, and that's just a new take on the song. This is a totally different song.
I kept making up a song this weekend. I only came up with a few lyrics. What are we fighting for? And your brother was like, please, dear God, stop singing.
Okay,
like and I was writing a musicale.
The story about this is that I came over because our HOA sent us a warning about something so fucking stupid.
So stupid. It really proves that HOAs are the craziest motherfuckers.
So I come into your house the other day, like fired up about this letter I get in the mail, and you, instead of just saying like, that's really frustrating, I get it, you respond with, what are we fighting for?
Because I like was writing a musical about this situation.
Which is like, okay, I'm sorry, did you hear anything I just said?
It was like, it went for both. Like, what are they fighting for? What are you fighting for? Like, why can't I have these lawn ornaments in my yard?
Okay, I don't have lawn ornaments.
That's what they're calling them.
But like, yeah, I mean, you can't even have a for sale sign in our yard. So like, certain bushes and flowers are not allowed. Give me a break. Anyway.
As I said, what are we fighting for?
Yeah. So I come in like, really like, what should I do about this? We have to write an appeal, etc. And I'm hoping to be met with like an equal amount of anger and chutzpah.
I'm writing a musical about it.
But instead it's, what are we fighting for? And then just throughout the weekend, randomly, even when it didn't apply, it was, what are we fighting for? Different tunes.
I would remix it. Wicka, wicka. Oh, God, that's funny. Yeah. Do you have any interesting bits for me?
Oh, do I ever? So the Trump-Biden debate is this week on Thursday. And a lot of people are like, is Trump going to call it off? Like, is Biden going to live to Thursday?
There's two valid questions.
Some really up in the air wonderings.
Yeah.
And something interesting that I thought is that they do a coin toss to see, like, podium position is something that's very important.
Oh.
I guess.
It's very Monday Night Football of them.
Mm-hmm. So they do a coin toss, and whoever wins the coin toss gets to choose. You can either choose which position you are, the left or right podium.
Okay.
Or whether you have the last word at the end of the debate.
I'd want the last word, obviously.
So given the choice, you'd think like, oh, I want to have the last word because I want to hear what this person says and then respond. And that'll be like, that's the end of that.
Yep. And
you have no chance to then come back at it. So they did a little coin flip, which is interesting to think about, like, them on a football field.
It honestly feels like the rules of a game that kids made up at recess.
We're going to flip a coin.
We're going to flip a coin, and you can decide if you either get to pick your podium or if you get the last word.
Yep.
Before recess bell rings.
So Biden picked tails.
Okay.
Tails wins.
Cool.
His team chooses podium position. So by default, Trump gets the last word. And everyone was kind of like,
why?
Why would you choose that? And from what I've read, it sounds like they think, Biden's team being they, think that they want the debate to end with Trump making himself look like a lunatic. Is the hope. Biden camp strategy. That like, if he has the last word, then he's just going to leave people feeling like this
unsettled
job.
What's interesting is they didn't even need to win the coin toss then, because Trump was 100% going to pick that if he won.
Right. And podium position, I guess a lot goes into like
the science of like
yes,
where you are, like
and
the psychology.
The psychology of where you are on the screen and what that does. And so apparently Biden's team has put a lot of thought into this.
So we're already up going in.
Yeah, that's the thought. They are hoping that him having the last word will just leave people, because like, would you rather be left with, these are the two options, Biden kind of like, meandering through his final statement,
rebooting, yeah,
and then just like it ending with the sound of a balloon
deflating.
Or Trump going off on like a rant about shit that we haven't even talked about tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we'd want them. But again, it's kind of what I was saying last night. The curious thing about this election is people who are going to vote for Trump are going to vote for him regardless of anything.
Do you think that's true?
I really do. I think if you've stuck by him at this point through all of the shit that went on during his presidency, January 7th, the criminal conviction, was it January 7th?
January 6th.
Oh, shit. 6th.
I was like, you stuck with him through the 6th and the 7th.
All right,
you are a diehard Trumper.
Let me go back. January 6th and 7th.
If you stuck with him through the 6th, but not just the 6th through the 7th.
Anyways, if you stuck with him through all of that, like, I don't know what could make you waver. it's an interesting position because anyone who's voting for him already had him as their president. Like the first round, I could maybe agree, like you weren't that sure. He seemed like a nut, but you had high hopes. Anyone who was committed to voting for him in this election already knows what that was like.
Interestingly, I think the debate could only do Biden harm.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't worry about Trump making an ass of himself because he makes an ass of himself regularly and still has a base of people who want to vote for him.
Like this debate could really just like reinforce that Trump is a lunatic, but
which
make
we knew.
People feel less confident in Biden if he doesn't perform well. But if he performs well,
God willing,
then
hopefully the earpiece is really stuck in. Joe,
glue that piece in.
I'm scared.
And the other interesting thing about this debate is that a new rule will be in place where when it's the other person's time, so like if it's Biden's turn to answer the question, he gets 2 minutes. And then it's Trump's turn to give his rebuttal. You know how they'll start talking over each other, any presidential candidate?
Yeah.
The other person's mic is going to be muted.
Oh, I love it.
Which, I'm not kidding you, if you have watched presidential debates in the past, which I have.
Game changer.
I am screaming at my TV, mute the mic. Like, I don't care. I don't want to hear anyone talking over anyone. That's just not interesting.
It's just impossible to hear.
Right.
It's not even not interesting. It's useless. Now you're both just jumbled.
And it's not even like, I mean, obviously Trump is disrespectful and
himself.
Yes. But generally speaking, like when people are debating each other, they're like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And then the other person continue. And it's like, oh my God, I'm just trying to follow along. What is the point of this?
The concept of a debate is actually hilarious when you think about it. It's like,
I think the concept of debate, like as like a high school activity, is funny.
The whole thing is hilarious. Like, all right, you know what? You two vehemently disagree. What we're going to do is we're going to put you guys on a stage. We're going to ask you questions.
Left or right podium, pick a coin.
Quick. We're going to ask you guys questions that you will 100% disagree on. And then we're just going to say, go. It's like, we already know that they disagree. It's not like anyone at a presidential debate ever answers a question and you're like, well, that was a curveball. I did not know they felt that way.
I think maybe debates were more useful like back when
there wasn't social media and stuff.
Social media, or even like the media wasn't so like, you know, a 24-hour news cycle. Like Biden makes this comment outside the ceremony for whatever, showing everyone that he's pro blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, it's like none of these things were question marks.
Right. So debates probably used to be useful, and now it's just like a way for two people to look like idiots.
Which just sounds riveting.
But I do love like the presidential debate, but the primary debate, like when like all the people who want to be the Republican nominee or the Democratic nominee, when like those 6 people debate each other, that's interesting.
Yeah, because that's like you kind of all agree, but you have to cut each other down.
Right.
It's like Hunger Games.
Yes. And like they have to take like, they have to sort of separate themselves from the pack. And so they have to take really strong stances on things that you're like, do you really feel that way?
Liar.
Yeah. It's kind of like now all these people who have said like, oh my God, Trump is a nut job. We don't support him, whatever. Now, of course, that he's the nominee, they're like,
we love him.
We love Trump. I mean, I get the point of like, it's a good skill, like in a debate class, for example, when they're like, okay, you have to debate, maybe you have to debate a side that you don't actually believe in. Like that's what we had to do in high school English, like in our debate section. You were just assigned a side and you had to like fight for that side.
What are we fighting for?
What are we fighting for? Yes, exactly. So like those are good skills to have, like being able to argue both sides of a point, but we've gotten so far away from that in the presidential thing. Like
debates are just like dumb.
What if they just threw curveball questions at them when we actually did get to learn something new? Like, what do you have for breakfast every day?
How do you feel about the reboot of Gilmore Girls? Did you watch A Year in the Life?
Toilet paper. Upside down or right side up?
No, literally.
Like maybe we could learn something interesting about these two Old men.
I don't want to learn anything else. Everything I've learned about them has been not enjoyable.
I'm sure there's something I'd like to know about
as?
Trump. Is that color on his skin, is that makeup or is that a spray tan?
Spray tan.
But then they're also putting on makeup. I mean, what color spray tan is that?
I don't know.
Tangerine?
It's so gross, though. I can't even imagine his dry cleaning bill. You know, like you're not supposed to sleep after you get a spray tan.
You're not supposed to sleep at all?
Like you're not supposed to lay down, you know?
Ever?
Like when it's drying.
Okay.
I bet he just goes and lays down, like in a drug-induced stupor.
Yeah, I would. There's a lot of things. What is Trump's hair routine? How does he get all those wisps in the same exact place? I mean, it's not easy. Like when you have a lot of hair, you just put product in it to maintain it. But like his wisps look the exact same every single time. That's a lot of product, I think.
I don't think it's product. I think it's humidity.
Humidity?
In
He's
his
constantly he has a humidifier. Yes. And fan blowing humidity at him wherever he goes. He's in Alaska.
My question is like, why does he like that look? I'm more curious, like, what do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you not see a Cheeto with eyes?
I'm sorry, Trump, do you see a Cheeto with eyes or is that just me?
Also, like, wouldn't we call him Donald? Why would we call him Trump?
You would call him Donald if you met him? Hello, Donald.
I definitely wouldn't call him Trump.
I think I would say Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump.
What else?
Why would you be so respectful? I'd be like, Don, get the hell over here.
Don, come over here. What's in your hair? Is it crunchy or is it soft?
Let me touch.
You reach up, he's like, oh, actually.
What if like you met him and he was like actually so nice and he's like, I'm just fucking with everyone?
I'd be like, holy shit. Yeah, no, I think if I did, like, let's say I ran into Trump in like a hotel lobby and he was just like sitting there scrolling on his phone, I would be like,
hey, Cheeto.
Hello, Mr. Trump.
Hello, Senor Cheeto.
I think I would be like, do you really believe all this shit or are you just like hyping everyone up?
Totally. What would you call Joe or Mr. President?
I think I would say President Biden.
Oh, wow. You love a last name.
I'm sorry. These are like real people.
Yeah. Joe and Don.
Joe and Don. Yeah. Joe and Don. I would also ask Trump, like, if his eyes slowly got more squinty as the years went on, or if he was born that way. Like, he's always kind of like,
do you need to have cataract surgery?
What can you and can you not see? I'm holding up a number.
How many fingers am I holding up? Okay, can I tell you about Suri Cruz or what?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So she graduated this weekend and I'm infatuated.
Did she go to like a New York charter school or did she grow up in LA?
Is that in New York? Is that the right word, infatuated?
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with the Suri Cruz of it all. I remember when she was born, I thought the name Suri was such a cool name. You know how I feel about names. Yep. And I did not realize that Tom Cruise has literally nothing to do with her.
I think I kind of did. You never like see them together.
100% estranged. He was not at her graduation. He was at the Taylor Swift concert in London, actually.
While she was graduating?
But he wishes he knew when the graduation ceremony was because he probably wouldn't have gone that night. But anyways, yeah. And she, much like Shiloh Jolie, dropped his name. In her pamphlet, she was just Suri Noel.
What the hell's Noel?
I think it must be her middle name.
Why not Suri
Holmes? No clue.
Is that even her real name?
I think that is her real name.
Katie Holmes?
I think it is her real name. Such a regular name, Katie Holmes.
Whenever I think about that, I think about
Dawson's Creek.
No, I think about Tom Cruise on the Oprah show jumping on the couch. And it was just like, everyone was like, what?
So my question is, I guess I know the answer to it. It's probably because she left Scientology, right? Like he can't interact with her because she's a suppressive person, Katie.
Is that the rule? You know way more about Scientology than I do.
Yeah, like if someone leaves the church deems them a suppressive person. Have you not watched any of Leah Remini's documentaries?
I have. It was years ago, though.
Oh, incredible.
She had that show, but now it's not on anymore, is it?
I think it is still going on. It's still on, but I don't watch it anymore.
Her last name is Holmes.
Surrey's is?
No.
Oh, Katie's. Yeah, I thought it was her real name.
So she could just go by Holmes.
Yeah, I guess. But so if you leave Scientology then calls you a suppressive person, and you are no longer allowed to associate with people outside the church. I would think if you were a parent, you would obviously not follow those guidelines with your child. But I know Tom Cruise is the messiah of the church, so I'm sure he follows those. But it was so sad to me,
and that's kind of crazy. Also coming on the heels of that story about Dakota Fanning.
What was the story about Dakota Fanning?
She talked about how her and Tom Cruise have always had a really close relationship ever since they did War of the Worlds when she was younger.
He stayed close to Dakota Fanning?
He sends her a gift every year on her birthday, and they keep in touch, whatever. So that's kind of sad. Well, but maybe it's because she didn't leave Scientology.
I do believe there's something about that, because the idea is that you want to convert more people. Maybe he's doing it to try and get Dakota Fanning to join the church.
Could him and Katie Holmes have married if she didn't join?
No.
No.
To my understanding. A lot of people from Scientology say that Katie Holmes was handpicked for him and brought into the church for him, and then had to escape in the middle of the night, low key, call her parents and be come get me.
Really? And the baby?
Mm-hmm.
How'd they get out?
I think it was a very calculated thing. I mean,
I'd love to hear that story.
There's a lot of lore around if Tom Cruise is even aware of what goes on in Scientology, just because they think there's a lot of handlers around him, which you'd have to be a moron. But I guess Scientologists don't even Google Scientology. And Leah Remini has said there's a lot of precautions put in place on your personal devices to keep information from you about Scientology. The biggest disappointment for me was when I found out Elizabeth Moss was a Scientologist.
The list of when I find out people are Scientologists, the list
so upsetting.
Is always upsetting to me. Elizabeth Moss from Handmaid's Tale, Erica Christensen from Parenthood.
Yeah, she seems like a Scientologist though.
Let me look up some other ones.
There's a lot.
Well, Kirstie Alley, RIP.
R.I.P.
Danny Masterson was?
Yes, and he's a fucking creep.
I didn't even realize that.
I knew that actually.
I don't know who any of these people are. Bijou Phillips.
Oh, interesting.
Why is Elizabeth Moss a Scientologist?
I think she was born into it. I'm pretty sure her parents are.
Oh, Giovanni Rispi.
Not even sure who that is. Who the
He played Frank on Friends, Phoebe's brother.
Oh.
That small man.
That tiny little guy.
Yeah.
I know Scientologists make a lot of promises about making your career successful.
Laura Prepon from
I knew that.
Orange is the New Black.
And That 70s Show.
That 70s Show.
I wonder if Danny got her into it or vice versa.
Ugh, Erica Christensen.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She's done nothing since Parenthood.
Jenna Elfman. She looks familiar, but I don't know what. Is she
Dharma?
Dharma and Greg?
From Dharma and Greg.
Dharma?
That tracks.
Really? How do you know these things track? Juliette Lewis.
Who?
Juliette Lewis, this woman.
I've never seen that woman in my life.
She's in so many things.
See, all of these people are mid-level celebrities. So Scientology really needs to up its...
Oh, Lisa Marie Presley had been a member when she was a child, but she announced in 2012 that she was stepping away. Is John Travolta still a Scientologist?
I believe he is. Very much so.
People who've left Scientology.
Who?
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, we knew that one. Thanks, guys.
Did she...
And I think he's also estranged from those kids.
I thought one of the kids was still a Scientologist and she doesn't talk to them.
Oh, maybe that's true. Isabel and something else.
Not a clue.
It's just so strange to me, with all of the attention it's getting, that all of these celebrities, do they not have PR teams? Or you know what? I bet their PR teams are Scientologists.
The PR team is in the church.
It's Scientology.
I honestly feel is it called a church?
Yeah. For their tax status.
That just ruins church, the word church for other people. Like, they should not be able to call it a church. There are real churches, and then there's Scientology.
Why don't can we go to a meeting when we're in LA? Just like the introductory meeting?
No, because then I think they like know a lot about you and follow you for the rest of your life, maybe.
Really? Oh, like I'm not worried about wanting to join. Like I don't want to go to meetings ever. So I definitely don't want to go to any Scientology meetings.
Yeah, I don't want to go to any meetings.
So like, no, I'm not coming back.
When I was younger, used to mix up Scientology and Christian Scientist.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it's like church and Christian and science. And there was a Christian Science library in like the downtown area that I didn't want to walk past because I thought that they would like come out and force me to come inside. And
what is Christian Science? Do you know?
It's like a form of Christianity.
And science?
Yes.
It's the Venn diagram of where Christianity and science meet.
Intersect. It is where I just know that like they don't take medicine.
Huh.
Christian Scientists, generally.
Well.
Allegedly.
I would be very interested to go to a Scientology meeting, but not if they're going to follow us. When we're in LA every year, I always see like a Scientology like storefront, but there's never any people there.
Well, they're obviously, who even knows what those storefronts are used for? Those are just like
money laundering.
Maybe.
I mean, they are saving a shit ton of money on that tax exempt status. We should start a church.
What should we call it?
The Church of Angels.
The Church of Angels.
What are we fighting for?
Oh my God. That would be our church slogan.
Yeah.
What are we fighting for? It would just be a bunch of non-committal.
No meetings.
None.
We'd be the first church where we're like, don't come.
We get together. Guys, what are we fighting for?
We're like,
we don't believe in anything.
Don't come. Stay home. We would write people letters to like get out of things. Every day would be our Sabbath. Don't leave.
We can't do anything because it's a day of rest.
They're like, it's Tuesday. We're like, in our church.
In our church, the Church of Angels. Heard of it?
I've heard of it.
I mean, at least it sounds like something everyone can get behind. Oh, Church of Angels.
And we're the two little angels at the top.
And we are the two angels.
We're the two little angels at the top of the pyramid.
Exactly.
That sounds like something we should do.
Something else I wanted to share with you was, did you see late last week the Supreme Court ruled on guns and domestic violence?
I did see that, and I was overjoyed that at least one thing the fucking Supreme Court did made sense.
Let me read this to you. Supreme Court ruled 8-1 to uphold a federal law that bars people under domestic violence restraining orders from owning guns. A Texas man had challenged the law, saying the High Court's 2022 decision expanding gun rights meant he could get a firearm even though he had a restraining order against him. But in the majority of opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, the law uses, quote, common sense and is used after a judge determines that an individual poses a credible threat of violence. So what's interesting is that made it up to the Supreme Court, first of all.
I mean, the world we live in is upside down land. Like, common sense has left the building.
And also, like, the lawyers representing the man who challenged that law and just the team put together to challenge that law in general are defending people with restraining orders out against them. Like, are any of those lawyers married?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's say you won. How do you sleep at night knowing that people who are credible threats are now able to get a gun and kill someone?
What
have you won? What are you fighting for? Literally, what are you fighting for?
And it's not just like you can take out a restraining order on anybody.
Right.
Like, a temporary restraining order, it can be temporary, but then like if one is
to get
upheld,
a legitimate one, yeah.
Yes, that has to be like ruled. You had to have done something really fucked up.
It's just shocking to me the shit that people can get themselves to justify. Like, well, I should fight for this. Like, why?
It's just like, can you imagine if Tyler were a lawyer and he was like, yeah, I got put on this case. We're fighting.
Like, no, you're not.
We're fighting the law for people with restraining orders out against them to be able to have still have guns.
The hell you are.
Wouldn't you be like,
no.
Like the lawyers who are working on that, I feel like their wives might be in trouble.
No, their wives have no opinions. They're like, good idea, honey.
You think?
Yeah.
Or they've been silenced. I got to get one of their wives on the horn.
Blink
or are they
twice. Silence. Are they silent or have they been silenced? Yeah, I mean, it was a small victory because I feel like the Supreme Court has really fucked us of late.
But like, doesn't that just like, that's common sense. I mean, come on.
But as we've seen, common sense, not that common. Like, so it is a win.
You had a restraining order taken out against you and you think you should still be entitled to own a gun
but
so that you can go kill the person who took out a restraining order against you?
But here's the tricky thing. Half the time the people who get those guns are not obtaining them legally. So like, again, it's like what always kills me about those little signs outside places that say guns aren't allowed. If you are following that sign, you don't pose a threat. If you're coming in to kill people, the sign doesn't matter.
Is there any like research that has gone into whether those signs have any impact on anyone?
I have no clue, but I can't imagine if you've gotten yourself to the place where you're going to commit murder that you're like, well, I was going to kill people today, but then I saw a sign and I was like, I really don't want to violate the sign.
The sign said no firearms and I was like,
okay. Like it's just counterintuitive. So it is a win, but the bigger issue is that like there's still so much access to guns illegally.
Right.
It's not like law-abiding citizens are going to be like, all right, well, I was going to kill someone, but I can't.
But there is no answer. Like, as someone who's more liberal, I understand the side of like people should have the right to protect themselves. Like, let's say you live in some like really dangerous community and like there's been a lot of break-ins in your neighborhood and you're scared to sleep at night and owning a gun makes you feel more comfortable. Like, I don't want to tell you that you can't do that.
I don't want to tell you that you can't do that. I still feel like the problem is too narrow. Like, the problem has never been with people, I shouldn't say never, is primarily not with people who are obtaining guns legally. If you are going through the proper channels and you're going to get your FOID card and you're registering it and you're going to the classes, you're more likely to not use that gun for crimes. It's registered to you. You have it for hunting or for protection or whatever it is. The issue is the access people are having to guns illegally that aren't registered and are ending up on the streets and are being used in a drive-by that shoots a fourth grader on their porch.
Right. Which happens every day.
Yeah, way too often. So I don't know how you fix that, but legislating isn't the way because it's not doing anything.
Right.
I don't know. It's fucked up.
Yeah, like when I really think about it, those people who, the crazy ass mofos who have restraining orders taken out against them, they're going to get a gun from somewhere else, probably. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know what the answer is. Like, I too, obviously you and I are very similar politically and we are fairly liberal and I don't want to own a gun. I'm not opposed to other people owning guns, but there is a gun problem. So like,
but I'm wondering if people who are more conservative also agree there's a gun problem.
No.
I think they agree that there's a like people problem.
They think there's a people problem. They think there's a mental health problem. Which I don't disagree. You have to be mentally unwell to commit some of these crimes. Like that's
obviously
duh. But I don't know it's the chicken or the egg.
So then what is their solution? And
I don't
would
know
they
if they
feel differently if they had a kid that went to a school where there was a shooting?
I'm sure they would. Everyone feels differently after something affects them. But like, I don't even know if they have a solution, but they love to say,
G forbid, but yeah.
Yeah, God forbid. They love to say it's not people. People would kill people with knives or whatever. But it's both.
But you can't kill as many people with a knife.
Totally.
Like if someone broke into a bank you were in and they were holding up a knife, wouldn't you just be like, oh,
okay.
well.
Got him.
Like, okay, what's going on here? Why'd you bring your knife?
I mean, yeah, I don't understand that mindset because, like, yes, of course you could still kill people, but like far less and not as like violently. It's much harder to kill someone with a knife.
Yeah, the gun thing is crazy. I would love to talk to somebody who
actually is on the other side.
Yeah, just like who has some interesting points. You know, love to hear it all.
We like to be well-rounded. Did you, I mean, I know you did because every person in the world did you follow the Justin Timberlake saga over the last couple of days?
Oh, yes, I did. I mean, he still did his concert and like went on as if
it did not ruin the world tour.
Did you see he said something at the concert like it's hard to love me or something? It's like because you're a narcissistic fuck. You're right. I'm kind of glad he did. It would have been a little weird to not. To just cancel the tour.
Well, and to just not acknowledge it. Like, we all saw everything. I feel like he had to say something.
I mean, yes. Like, and also there's a difference between just like making a statement through your PR team and like having to show up in front of like something. Thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah. No, I'm glad he said something. I have thought for years that he is a little off and like, I'm not surprised by this.
We've said it before. Anyone who had experienced that much fame from a young age, Mickey Mouse Club.
Dark.
The curse of the club.
And he just is one of those people that you get the vibe that he's like putting on a front. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those people that I feel like when the door shuts, he's a different person.
Totally. And Justin Timberlake thinks he's the shit.
100%. The way he left NSYNC, it was like, okay.
Still not over that, huh?
I'll never be over that.
I mean, like, obviously he's a very successful solo artist.
No, he's super talented. But, like, those photos of him on that balcony with a girl who was 100% not his wife.
In New Orleans, cheating on his wife, yes.
That was the end for me.
Yeah, I think you can just tell that he thinks he is, like...
the shit.
Yes, God's gift. And that in general is not appealing.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like, I think it's a little odd that like he has now come out and like had to say something about it because he performed. Your husband's a big Justin Timberlake fan. You didn't want to go to that concert?
You're a huge JT fan.
Yeah, I was definitely a Justin stan, probably, as, you know, he was a white boy who could sing and dance, and that was aspirational for me.
Something for you to aspire to. You were at home like, I'm bringing sexy back.
I mean, for a kid who didn't listen to a lot of popular music due to a lot of different, you know, reasons growing up, and he had great music, and, you know,
he was bringing sexy back.
He dropped the 2020 experience when I was like 18, so that was like, wow. I mean, it's like growing up. It was like crazy.
It was crazy.
To my, you know, my young mind.
It lit a little fire under your little ass.
But yeah, like the album after that, Man of the Woods, that was really like...
knows all the albums.
No, it does.
No, it definitely. And when he did the Super Bowl performance too, I feel like a lot of people thought that was not good. Me included. I don't know what you guys thought, but...
I don't even remember it.
He was dressed up in like the fucking camo like outfits, and he was going up and down the stands like, ooh yeah, just like not a good look. That album stinks.
So since then, since 2020, you've been.
I think that was like 2017 or 18 even.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. And I actually just recently watched a video. It was like, that was really the start of his downfall. And I was talking about like, people maybe just don't need Justin Timberlake these days. Like,
I
think we have kind of moved on from Justin Timberlake.
We have. So even some of Justin's biggest fans are.
They've crumbled.
But what I was going to say was, I would love to hear now from Jessica Biel.
She won't ever say a fucking thing, which I actually don't like.
And then she comments on like stupid shit, like her hair and like dumb shit we don't care about. Why don't you talk about what it's like being married to a narcissist? Why don't you tell us what are you fighting for?
What are you fighting for? No, she's like definitely very much like whatever Justin does. Like, she's along for the ride.
Or has she been silenced?
I think she's been silenced. Yeah, I'm sad to see it for her because I loved Seventh Heaven, as you know, but
another thing that should be canceled.
Ay, babe. Wait, so since you had an icebreaker, I came prepared with a daily dilemma.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so I saw this on an Instagram account that I follow, and I want to get your take on it. So this girl said that she goes on a lot of dates. She's in her dating era. She's on the apps, and she went on a first date with this guy who she thought was like really nice. Wasn't like immediately obsessed with him, but was like, we had a good enough first date. So he asked her out on a second date. They went on the second date. She was like, I'm really going to try. They had another good date, but like no real chemistry. So she texted him after the second date and was like, thank you so much. I had so much fun today. I think you're a really great guy, but I just don't think it's a match for me. I wanted to let you know, like, wish you luck.
Wow, what a...
So mature.
Yeah. Usually people would just be like, not working, next.
Totally. So he texted her back and was like, it's really fucked up to lead people on and have me pay for 2 dinner dates. Oh. If you knew you weren't into it. Oh, because she had said like, you know, the first date was good, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I thought I'd give it another try. I had a really nice time with you, but I just don't think we're a match. He was like, it's really fucked up to have someone take you out to dinner, like not once, but twice, especially when you know it isn't going anywhere. I am like really frustrated that you wouldn't have said something after the first date. And then she got a Venmo request for half of both the dinners.
Chivalry's dead.
And people were like commenting like, I kind of get it. And then other people were like, that's fucked up.
I kind of get it. Who was commenting that?
People were like, well, it is kind of wrong for you to like take advantage of him. And like, you know, like guys in this climate, like are paying for everything. Like dinner's expensive. It's like, that is the game. She was so polite.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fucked up.
I don't think that's fucked up either. And someone has to be like, not to sound old fashioned, but like generally speaking, one person has to court the other person.
1,000%.
Whether that be the man or the woman.
Or if there's 2 in a relationship, if you go back and forth.
A same-sex relationship, one person has to kind of go after the other person just because logically you're both not going to be equally into each other.
And there has to be some pursuit.
There has to be someone taking the lead on things. As with anything in life, someone has to kind of like trudge forward with planning a trip for a couple.
Totally.
Someone has to trudge forward with like getting the groceries to make dinner this week. Like
we're
not
a leader
on the same page about 100% of the things that we do in life.
1,000%. So do you think she should have fulfilled the Venmo request?
Absolutely not. I would have sent him 1 penny back.
And been like, you're a petty bitch.
Yeah.
She fulfilled it.
I would send 1 penny and be like,
she was like, this is like so dumb.
Take this
cent.
Take this 1 cent and shove it up your fucking ass. You petty piece of shit.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
If you don't want to take women out on dates, like, oh, I'm sorry, were you only taking me out to dinner?
To sleep with me?
Or like, you thought that these 2 dinners would lead to what? Marriage?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But people were, then she like followed up and was like, I did fulfill the Venmo request. Like, it was just weird to me. I just wanted to like be done. And people were like, you should have never done that.
Do
I was like, I would never have fulfilled that. Like, you're a fucking lunatic.
1 penny petty. Petty penny. Petty penny.
I would have sent 2 cents and texted back. Here's my 2 cents, you piece of shit.
No.
Good luck dating as an actual lunatic. I'm going to warn every person in the tri-state area.
Now that I have you on Venmo, I'm going to follow your Venmo interactions.
Totally.
Moving forward.
And message every person.
Every person saying, this man is about to request money from you unless you fall in love with him tomorrow. And also, are you that hard up for cash? I want to message your boss. Also, this man needs a raise.
Like, if you can't afford to take me to dinner, don't.
Then don't. Then please don't.
It's not an investment. It's a dinner. It's not like you're paying for dinner to get something in return. We went to dinner. We had dinner. That's what you paid for.
And if you go out on a first date or even a second date with someone and you offer to split it, as you should, you should offer to split it because we're strong, independent women.
Feminism, y'all.
And the man accepts.
Weird.
They're a pansy.
They're so weird.
Like, I'm sorry, but like, someone has to court the other person.
Like, that is so weird. You can't. Like, no. Yes.
Like, you go out to dinner, the bill is $75, and you're like, oh, let me put my card in to split it. And he's like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, so we're just here as friends.
We're friends.
That's the takeaway.
That is, I mean, the fact that she fulfilled the request, I was
That's
blown
just
away.
infuriating. I mean, there's no justice there.
Yeah, I knew you'd be sad about the justice. Yep.
1 cent is all you
2,
got.
but yeah.
No, I would be like, thank you so much for reminding me that I owed you money. I followed up with how much I think your time is worth.
It is commiserate with the experience that I had.
Yep. Thank you, and kindly fuck the fuck off.
I actually might have doubled down and just like, honestly, it's so dumb because like it would have cost me more money, but I would have added like $100 and been like, I didn't realize that you're so hard up for money and I feel terrible. So I've just gone ahead and sent you the money plus 100 so that you can eat tonight.
And that, I hope you can take someone else out and pay for her meal.
Like, pay it forward, you little bitch.
What the fuck?
That was nice doing a little Freaky Friday. You did the icebreaker. I did the dilemma.
That is someone she will not be saying call you later to.
Definitely not. No
She'll be
calls.
saying call you never.
Never.
But I'll call you later.
Call you later. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.